Go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Hey, thanks for stopping by Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. This is not going to be a real long night for us, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. So, once again, just a few days left on my fundraiser for my friend Dana Stevens. If you're interested in buying some merchandise and get your order in before January 31st, for 50% of everything that I sell between now and then will go to Dana for her legal defense fund. Or if you donate $100 or more to Dana's legal defense fund directly over at Gifts and Go, I will give you $15 credit towards a bag of coffee or something else like that here in my merch store. So yeah, check that out. If you like the content and you're interested in supporting me, please feel free to go over to Subscribestar and pick a level of support there. I would love to have you guys do that. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So today I was made aware that people have been contacting the Rochester Police Department and filing complaints against Officer Roussell and pretty much the conduct of RPD that day in general. And what I saw upset me quite a bit, because I'm not going to go through and replay the video. I've done it now several times. I just finished Veteran Nation. We watched the entire video. The video will be in the link. So I want you to, if you're doubting me, if you're doubting what I'm saying about my conduct and the conduct of Rochester Police Department, especially Officer Roussell, I know I'm not saying his name perfectly right, but that's fine. His badge number is 2385. If you're doubting my veracity, if you're doubting anything that I'm saying and what I'm about to say to you as it relates to what happened on Saturday and how they conducted themselves, watch the video. That's all I'm going to tell you to do. Watch the video, and then listen to what I'm saying here, and then you tell me who's trying to hide. I have nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. I'm not upset about anything that happened that day as far as from my direction. There's a few things I wish I would have said more, but I'm not upset about anything that took place as far as my conduct. What I am upset about is the lack of the Rochester Police Department's integrity, especially Officer Roussell. And he demonstrated that. Now, why is this important? And here's why. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple of things. I looked up the Rochester Police Department's Code of Conduct today. Okay, so. And if you don't know, every law enforcement agency in the United States has a code of conduct. They absolutely 100% have codes of conduct of expectations of their police officers or sheriff's deputies or troopers, whatever, of what they're supposed to do on duty and even off duty to some degree. But the question is are they held to that? Are they absolutely held to that? And what we're finding out is very often they're not. Like, I was held to a code of conduct for my podcast content and for my shows that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual code of conduct that the sheriff's office that I work for could enforce. So there's a double standard oftentimes. But we're going to take a look at this. Okay. So here's one of the things, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this very well, but it's there, and I'll read it for you. This is the Rochester Police Department's Code of Conduct, okay? And this is Section 320.58, Performance. And I'm going to read it off of my phone precisely here so I can actually read it a little bit better. Um, performance. .5.8. Failure, and this is section A, failure to disclose or misrepresenting material facts or making any false or misleading statement uh, on any application, examination form, or other official document, report, or form, or during the course of any work related investigation. All right? I'm going to read that for you one more time. Failure to disclose, misrepresent, or misrepresenting material facts or making any false or misleading statement on any application, examination form, or other official document, report, or form, or during the course of any work related investigation. Now, let's keep that in mind, okay? The falsification of any work-related records, making misleading entries or statements with the intent to deceive, or the willful and unauthorized removal, alteration, destruction, and or mutilation of any department record, public record, book, paper, or document. All right? And there's this other section here. It says failure to participate in or giving false or misleading statements or misrepresenting or omitting material information to a supervisor or other person in a position of authority in connection with any investigation or in the reporting of any department-related business. Now, you're going, okay, TC, why do you sound so irritated? Just hold on. We're not quite done. And then there's this. Let's see how that's looking. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but Chad, I agree with you that intent can be hard to prove, but wait till you see this, okay? Just wait till you see this. Withhold comment until you see this. So here's the other one. This is section 320.5.9 under conduct. Unreasonable and unwarranted force to a person encountered or a person under arrest, or discourteous, and this is section F, discourteous, disrespectful, or discriminatory treatment of any member of the public or any member of the department or the city, use of obscene, indecent, or derogatory language while on duty. Okay? So far you're going, what's this have to do with anything? Well, right here, we know that Roussell used unlawful force on me. And I was under no investigation. I was not being accused of a crime. There was no probable cause. There was no reasonable articulable suspicion at all. None. And he used unreasonable force on me. Okay? Now, why is all of this important? This is why it's important, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not going to be a terribly long stream, but this right here is exactly why this is so freaking important. Okay? I'm going to read this to you. You might be able to see it on your screen if you've got a big enough screen. But here it is. This is the narrative. This is official record, okay? This is the CAD narrative. This is the dispatch narrative. These are official notes that go into the record. I have the documentation proving that this was said, okay? The first documentation is entered at 12:05:58 by Jay Mueller, and Jay Mueller's badge number is 2453. Here's what Mr. Mueller entered into his narrative of the official record of that day. Arrived on scene and saw about 20 protesters outside, advised them we would be going to speak with security and the president to verify that it is private property. The building itself is public property. However, the meeting area was reserved, which makes it a private area. Multiple protesters were loud, but overall not unruly. When told they would be asked to leave if they continued their outburst, then they remained rule-abiding as set by the meeting. Doesn't seem bad on its face, right? But let's go back and think about what I read. Okay, what did I read in the description of, or not the description, but in the code of conduct? Remember what I read. Now, this is from Officer Roussell. Stood inside of RCTC as the request of RCTC president and the campus security to keep the peace, while inside was asked multiple times by people for name and badge number for unspecified reasons. Cleared the scene of this conclusion at the conclusion of the meeting. Nothing further added. Now, are you noticing a pattern here? Are you noticing a pattern? I'm wanting to know, were actual reports written about this day? Are there actual reports written about this day? Because if this is the only report, this is all disingenuous and it's all dishonest. Okay. Now, remember in the video that I put out, they talk about their mission statement, their mission purpose, right? Gets even better, folks. This is from Roussell. This is his narrative. Requested protesters to move from area to public sidewalk, trying to explain private property, but they would not listen, stating the property is state aid funded, so it makes it public. There is nothing on camera in my body camera footage or in my stream that ever sees him requesting that we move off property. That's a lie. That is a flat out lie. Roussell lied in his narrative here. He lied. That's just the very first sentence. He lied. This is a person who's charged with keeping the peace in Rochester, Minnesota. He lied. If you lie to a cop in the course of an investigation, that's a criminal charge. And he just lied in violation of their code of conduct. Does anybody give a shit? Does anybody out there care? Or do you just back the blue because that's what you do? But he gets worse. Did not push the issue with them. That's a lie. Because he did push the private property issue. And he never once asked anybody to leave. One male, and this is great, one male recording became aggressive verbally who continued to get close to officers and asked to back away multiple times. Never happened. And when I say never happened, I never closed with them. The only time that there was any closing of the distance between me and them was when they turned around and came towards me to stop me from coming into the building and going into the auditorium where the event was taking place. That's the only place that happened. It's a lie. It's a lie. And the one time I was asked to move, I was over 6 feet away and I was not moving anywhere near them. And I even took a step back when they asked, even though I wasn't obligated to. Share this out. Put this out. Put this on Rochester Police Department's Facebook page. Put this on their Twitter account. Put this in an email to their chief of police. This should be pissing you off. I don't care if you live in Minnesota or not. I don't care if you live in Rochester or not. This should piss you off. And if it doesn't piss you off, ask yourself why. Why? These, once again, are people charged with keeping the peace. Law keepers, law enforcement, lying. I don't care if I lose all of my subscribers for being angry about this. This is a lie. This is patent BS. This is absolute BS. But it goes on. Stayed inside, stayed inside during town hall meeting to keep the peace. Had to speak to one attendee about his actions, explaining this is a rented space by the organization, which makes this private property for the area of the event, and he is more than willing to stay, but has to follow the rules set by them or leave. Male quieted down. Got asked multiple times from upset protesters for name and badge number, gave information when requested. Bull crap. Roussell. Bull crap. You liar. You were asked by me 4 times before I got the badge number from Mueller, and then you finally gave yours. But you had to be asked 5 times. 5 times. And your first response when I asked was, you know full well who I am. And then pointed at your badge or at your nameplate. That's right here. That's how you said it. It's right here. You are a crooked, slimy excuse for a cop, and you should not have this job, you power-hungry little tyrant. And then, worse, you know what is missing? Not one mention of having made contact with me. Not one. Not one. Not one mention of having made physical contact with me in the course of me just trying to go in, as I'm allowed to do according to the First Amendment, as a member of the media, which was what I was there for. You did not report that you made contact with me. And you and your partner didn't report that the president of the university, even though he's mentioned in here, never once mentioned that he made contact with me, that he initiated force with me. Not one time. You cowards. You are lying cowards. Rochester PD officers, lying cowards, because you know if you told the truth, you would have to address it, but you didn't. You didn't address this. You flat out lied, and we're supposed to trust that the Rochester Police Department really, really cares about their mission statement. And let's take a look at Rochester Police Department's mission statement. Here we go, folks. Let's look at their mission statement. The mission of the Rochester Police Department is to provide exceptional service and superior protection by reducing crime, enhancing the quality of life of the first-class community we serve. The Rochester Police Department will accomplish this through a strategic collaboration along with a commitment to these core values: integrity, service, compassion, respect, and innovation. Once again, the link to the video is going to show that not only did they not show compassion, not only are they lacking in integrity, but they showed a lack of respect for how Roussell addressed me. You came here looking for this, so I gave you what you want. He made unwarranted, unlawful contact with me, failed to put that in his narrative. And there again, if he wrote a report, I sure hope he did. For his sake, I hope he wrote a report for his initiation of the use of force for no reason. I was not a danger to anyone. I was not in any way, shape, or form under any obligation to leave. I had not been told I was trespassed, nor had I been even asked to leave. A flat-out lie. This is a building of a freaking lie by these pigs with badges. A lie. They're covering for each other. So if they didn't write reports on the use of force, if they didn't write reports about what the college president did to me, this is obfuscation. They're literally lacking the integrity to even admit that anything happened. And the disrespectful comment of, well, we're hiring if you think you can make it better. That was not at all done in a genuine desire to see an improvement in the conduct of the Rochester Police Department. It was snarky and smart alecky, and it was just a punk being a punk. These are what bad cops look like. They didn't do their jobs. They came there with an agenda, and they got shut down, and I won that day. I won. The other protesters, we won because we went in and we did what we were there to do. It was an ugly scene. I'm not going to argue that. But they came there expecting that their very presence was going to push people away, and that's not what happened. So we won. We won. And this is far from over. Far from over. The cops lied in their narrative on the dispatch screen. They lied. And that is an official record. An official record. That can be called in court. We have the images. It can be called in court if it needs to be. They just don't care. They think they're above being held accountable. And you know what? Sadly, for the most part, a lot of times they are, because nobody pays attention. As long as it's not affecting them. You people have got to wake up and realize this is happening in every police department, in every city, in every town, in every jurisdiction in the United States. It's getting out of hand. And I don't care if every person I know who I call friend, every family member that I have who's in law enforcement, if you guys hate me and you never want to talk to me, I don't give a damn anymore. You guys have got to stand up and start doing the right thing, or you're just as bad as the bad cops that you call bad cops. You're just as crooked as they are, because all you're interested in doing is padding your retirement, padding your paycheck, not rocking the boat so you can pay your bills and have a nice car and have a nice house and have a nice boat or a new firearm to go hunting with or a nice vacation. You're just as bad as they are. You're just as bad. If you keep your mouth shut, in fact, you're even worse, because you know what they're doing is wrong and you're not responding to it. So no, this isn't going away. I'm going to find an attorney somewhere. I'll find one. I don't care if it's an ambulance chaser who has a reputation of being an ambulance chaser. I'm going to find an attorney somewhere. I'm not shutting up until this gets addressed. And no, by the way, just so you know, I'm not feeling like I want to unlive. Okay? So if something happens to me, I wasn't feeling that way. We have to start making a difference, and the only way a difference is going to get made is when we start making a point of making them feel the heat of their lack of ethics. If you can't trust the people who wear a badge and who carry a gun and have cuffs, and they have the ability to unlife you, and they have the ability to unlife other people, and they have the ability to put you in cuffs and throw you in a rape cage, if you can't trust them, you can't trust anybody. And I'm telling you right now, you can't trust cops. You can't trust them. You cannot trust cops. I know a couple in Rochester, I'd put my life in their hands. That's it. That's it. It's got to stop. It's got to end. I don't have anything else to say. Share this out. Put this on Rochester Sheriff's or on the Rochester Police Department's Facebook page. Put it on their Twitter account. Find a way to make them take notice that they have corruption in their ranks and nobody gives a damn about it as long as they don't rock the leftist agenda boat. It's got to end. And for anybody out there, you went there to cause a problem. Bullshit. That it was not why I was there. In my live stream that I'm going to be putting up sometime tomorrow will prove all the unedited, everything unedited GoPro body camera footage will prove that I was getting along just perfectly with everyone else. This is all on security, on the president of the college, and on RPD. And it's on their sergeant who was on scene but not anywhere near interacting. Because I guarantee you, if Sergeant Valere had been there, I would have had a civil conversation with him. We have got to take back our communities from dirty, unethical, lying swine like Roussell. He's a lying swine, and it's got to end somewhere. Until next time, my friends, fight for your liberty. It is yours. Fight for your freedom. It belongs to you. And sic, with every meaning of the word, sic semper tyrannis.
for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at